What's going on, everybody? Zach here, Zach's Glass. Today we're making this Karmaline Christmas ornament. I've been making a variety of different colors. As you could see at the beginning, there was a bunch of striking colors there. Karmaline's been one of my favorites. As you can see, there's these optical blemishes, kind of these waves where the lines are, and I really was enjoying that. So we're going to get started with this one. So as you can see, I was just making a little constriction in a section of tubing. This is some 32 by 4. It's my favorite size tube for starting to work on. I do use some different sizes every so often, but this is what I use for the variety, or the bulk of my work. Handling up to that with a bit of 10 mil, just straightening it out on my bench rollers off to the side there. We're going to race through this bit at the beginning. I was just wanting to share a little bit of the prep. I did this on a live, and I just started by breaking down a bunch of 32 by 4. What I usually do is break a tube in half, cut it into quarters like exactly how you just saw me work, and then handle up to little bits. I'll usually handle up to enough glass for a pair of pieces, have both ends open so that I can divide it with a blow tube on each side, and then I'm left with a piece like this. So right now I'm just warming that up, getting it ready to accept the color. I don't want to be stressing out the glass while I'm laying the lines down too much. If you don't keep the glass hot and you lay lines down, there's definitely some stress if you let it cool off, if you don't heat it up as you go. So you'll see me start to lay these lines down here. I'm going to really make sure that the rod is hot enough that I don't have to push too much. I'm kind of bobbing in the flame a little bit. As you can see, it kind of wiggles back and forth at the beginning. That helps me heat up a little bit more of the rod, but make sure that the spot where the glass is laying down onto the tube is nice and hot. So then I'll do that first line and go exactly opposite that side so that I can try and get half of the tube kind of on each side of the lines. I always start with one on one side, then do the opposite one, because it's really easy to line them up in a straight line. And then I'll do the lines in between that. I'm going for 4 lines on this. I definitely want to lay those lines down kind of slow. I'm trying to lay down a fair bit of color. I want enough color that when I twist it up and stretch it out, that glass doesn't lose too much of its color. The thinner you stretch a color, the less you can really see it sometimes. So here we go, laying down that line in between the first two, after I had, taken a moment to warm up the tube again. As you can see, I'm kind of talking. Like I said, I did this live, so I was kind of describing what I was doing to the camera and chatting away a little bit. So you'll see me talk to the camera like that periodically throughout. But at the moment, getting that 4th line down. As you can see, this just let the heat wash into that rod, give you the chance to push it down without really giving too much force. That lets you lay down more color. The harder you push, the thinner the line ends up being. And there you can see, kind of quartered that tube fairly nicely. Now comes the process of heating the whole thing up and getting those to melt in a little bit. And I say melt in a little bit because there is that kind of optical wave where the lines are that I do want to preserve. So instead of really trying to cook this in and melt those lines in completely, I am going to kind of let them stay raised up out of the tube a little bit at the end. So before I handle up, I do usually try to give the piece a couple puffs. This just gives me a chance to even out the walls a little bit before I have a handle on both sides. Having a handle on both sides is definitely the best way to make even forms, but there is a point where it's a little bit more difficult. So at the beginning, just trying to have one handle on there and just let gravity and heat do the job until you have a little bit more of an even form. As you can see that I pause coming out of the flame, let the thinner glass cool off a little bit so that the thickest parts want to stretch and even out a little. So they're picking up a handle, getting ready to, oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, give that a little bit more of a puff so the end's nice and even. That spot where you start putting the rod or the lines down and the part where you end putting the lines down can often be the biggest bumps, and do need a little bit more attention if you want nice even walls the whole way around. Got that tube ripping hot. I'm going to be twisting it up pretty quick here, so getting everything nice and warm is super important. You want that glass to be able to flow. But those lines of Karmaline are still pretty thick, so when I do twist it up, you're going to see a lot of waves. And as you can see, one of my hands is often kind of moving more than the other. What I often do while I'm twisting up glass like this is let my thumb drag on one side. And then we come out of the flame, pause, puff, and that helps even that out. See, much more round than that wavy form was when I showed you before the puff. Then I'll take a bit of time on that blow tube end to really try and get some heat into the dots that raise up where I finally flame cut the rods off each time I laid a line down. And I'll be continuing the twist at this point too. When you get the whole blank hot, it's easiest to twist the midsection, and then heating up the ends is the most important thing to do to get those ends to twist up the rest of the way. So just spending that time in the flame, making sure everything's getting hot. I am going to be doing a series of these Christmas ornament tutorials. I saw my silver fumed ornament tutorial from last year start to tick up in views, so I knew that people were looking up these videos again. So I decided it was time to start working on more of these. And the silver fumed ornaments, they're fun, but I really wanted to add a little bit more variety to what I have available, so I was trying a whole bunch of colors. And as you can see, that was super wavy. Give it a puff. It's looking way more even. There, now we're gonna start to focus a little bit more heat back on the whole thing, trying to make sure that twist is pretty even. It's looking pretty good there. Really pausing as I come out of the flame and waiting. I'll spend a bit of time getting that top side expanded a little bit here, because when I want to puff out the whole form, it's really a good thing to have the top side of the ornament ready. When I do my final puff, I'm only going to have one handle on there, and blowing out a bubble once you have one handle on, you really don't want to have to do more than a one or two step kind of puff. The more times you heat it up, the more chances there are to lose your center and stuff. So now heating up that handle, the solid handle end, I'm gonna finish the twist on that end of the piece and then flame cut that away and spend a bit of time evening it out. When you flame cut a piece off your, sorry, yeah, when you flame cut a handle off, you'll always be be left with a little bit of a thicker end right where the handle got cut away, and you want to definitely take some time to heat that out and expand the piece, let it condense back, and flatten out that wall so that you don't have a big chunk, a heavy chunk at the bottom. Here you can see flame cutting that away. Now we're almost ready to start setting all that heat into the glass. And this is one of those parts of the process where you really want to take your time to make sure the whole piece is hot, but also focus on not heating the top side too much. If you heat the part that's attached to the handle, you're gonna let the piece fall. And if it falls out of center, the heat really doesn't set into the ornament evenly and you'll never be able to puff out a round bubble. So getting that end hot, spending some time just bobbing back and forth. You want to get the whole piece warm, but like I said, not too much on that one side. And you puff it out most of the way, let that glass chill, and the thickest spot at the top should be still hot enough to flow as everything else freezes, and you end up with a nice warm or even round bubble. You're kind of bobbing back and forth between the smaller flame, the larger flame, getting the whole thing hot, and I think we're ready to go here. We got the first puff, let it chill, and now we're going to give it the juice. Really giving it a strong puff after it had a chance to cool off around the hemisphere a little. The top and bottom want to expand into the nice round bubble. And as you can see, those like kind of waves that are left from the lines of Karmaline. Like I said before, not every color leaves those waves, and I'm really partial to that look, and I want to make a few more sets in this color and even find some other colors that'll leave that kind of optical kind of wave. So now I'm going to heat a little tiny spot and puff it out and blow a hole out. This is just so that I don't end up with a sealed form at the end. As you seal a form shut, as it cools off, it wants to pull the last place that you heated inwards a little, and that can stress the glass unless you're very careful. It's something you can do, but I prefer not to. Just quick production work. Try to avoid things that stress the glass like that. You see I'm picking up my grabbers. These are grabbers made by Mataskuki. Really love them. They can expand to some pretty huge widths, so you can grab the lip of some larger bowls and things like that. Right now I'm just going to make sure it's warm so that the grabbers don't stress the glass as they touch the hot glass. I think I could grab around the hemisphere with the loops a little further out and have the connection that I'm trying to cut away right now be a little further from the grabber tips, but I find this is a very solid way to hang on to a bubble, so I try to focus the heat on the exact spot that I'm trying to flame cut away. Sometimes I do actually condense the blow tube down and use that glass as the loop on the top, but this time I'm going to be using another separate rod. Yeah, just making sure I heat that up until any angles on the interior have a chance to cook back and even out a little bit. I'm going to find myself a decent chunk of 9mm or 10mm. I have a variety of both on the workbench, so depending on what's immediately available today is what I ended up with. There's probably a little bit of scrap glass on that. Gonna use my tweezers to pick that glass away to get to some clean glass for the loop. I think the end of that had cracked after whatever I had been doing with it previous. Get that away. We'll heat up the two connection points so that they want to flow together nicely. And just because I am trying to be a little bit more gentle on the end of my grabbers, I'm going to come out of the flame as I go to stick these, because I'll be reheating that connection point anyways. Push them together, tug away from each other so that that acute angle where they push together gets pulled out. Now we'll heat probably close to half an inch, 3/4 of an inch of that, and pull it until it becomes a nice thin piece. And it extends to, inch, inch and a half. Flame cut that away. Now I'm going to focus my heat on where I connected the two pieces and let it heat until I can let it droop onto an angle. I've got my tweezers there. I might control the droop a little bit and give it a little bit of a tug. And then I'm going to heat that whole part that's hanging down so that I can twist it around with my tweezers. Looks like the footage is getting a little grainy. I might stop using live streams to collect content unless I can solve my Wi-Fi issue in the shop. But I try to get that connection point close. There's still a bit of a gap so that I can have them very close to each other, get that nice and hot and ready to move, and I'll push them together with the tweezers and then tug them away from each other just to even out any acute angles. There goes the push. They're touching together now and mostly fused and pretty much happy, but give it a little tug just to open that up. I'll move on to my jacks and then reamer. So I've got my my waxed jacks. Get in there, open up, make sure that connection point's fully rounded out instead of any like kind of V shape. Then I pick up my graphite reamer after that, just to kind of make sure any oval shape to that hole goes into a nice round form. As you can see, we're looking good. Really love the kind of gold-based pink. Karmaline's a really nice color. But now it's time to get that into the kiln so I can anneal it. I'm going to do a variety of different shapes and colors coming in the next few days. I'll be filming a few more as well. I didn't get all of the footage I wanted for the tutorials I'd like to post. So I'm going to be building a little bit of a playlist of Christmas ornament videos. So you can check that out if it's already up. Otherwise, I've got my silver fumed ornaments already done on the channel, and I'll be putting these in that playlist right away. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.